We all grew up learning the fables of someone that leaves a castle and slays a dragon, becomes either a prince or a princess. And
Yeah.
I wanted my adventure. And I think a lot of us, when we're growing up, we're under a lot of pressure. We have to follow in certain footsteps, study something. I decided to break free and be liberated. And the only way to do that was to choose languages. So I was a Spanish major in college, which I knew would open doors.
And when you learn a language, it is just not that you are learning the language only, you learn the culture. You get to see the world from a very different set of eyes.
Working at my friend's center, I wasn't the owner. So I got to be with the people in multiple departments, and you get to hear things in the lunchroom, in the cubicles, by the water cooler. So I said, okay, let's take some notes here.
Richard, you have trained over 10,000 people to use their voices. When did you finally claim yours?
It's amazing the certain spectrum of humanity that we see and what people are willing to do for somebody. And I just try to pay it forward. The toughest part was losing the largest client, because I literally almost went out of business. Thank God I never went down to 0 agents, but everything I saved went back into paying rent. But if you made some really big decisions, you gotta be so proud that you were bold enough to take that chance.
Big dreams don't come quietly. They demand risk, they demand fire, they demand crazy transformation. Welcome to the corporate life. Hosted by Hina Siddiqui, CEO and founder of Corporate Influence Media and creator of the Let's Make You Famous 90-Day Celebrity Campaign and media strategist featured across 600 plus global outlets. Join us as we sit with million-dollar entrepreneurs, tech CEOs, and celebrities who share the scenes that shape them. Here, success isn't a headline. It's a human story. The turning points, reinventions, failures, breakthroughs, and bold decisions behind their rise. Because your life is a movie too, and you're the star of yours.
Richard, your life does not feel like a straight line. It literally feels like a movie. A young man leaves home at 27, moves to Costa Rica, spends 2 decades shaping voices, and then launches a rock anthem called Shine Like the Sun. Let's start from there and tell us the story, the man who decided to shine even when the path was not obvious.
We've all been dreamers. We all grew up learning the fables of someone that leaves a castle and slays a dragon, becomes either a prince or a princess. And I wanted my adventure. And I think a lot of us, when we're growing up, we're under a lot of pressure. We have to follow in certain footsteps, study something, marry someone you don't love. Who knows? I decided to break free and be liberated. And the only way to do that was to choose languages. So I was a Spanish major in college, which I knew would open doors. And then at 27, I moved to Costa Rica. And, the rest is almost history. We can get into that in a little bit. But Shine Like the Sun. Well, everyone needs their theme music as well. And so a very good friend of mine down here, Igni Faroki, he wrote me a song about moving to Costa Rica, working at a call center, not wanting to go back to the States and doing what it takes to survive and thrive. And I did it. And then I had the honor of a collaboration with In Excess bassist Gary Beers, who laid some tracks for us and was able to work with us on this song. And it's just, to me, every time I hear it, I get chills. It motivates me to hit the gym or do something positive, and also a nice reflection of how far I've come. And so, yeah, I got very lucky to create that sort of project at a period of my life.
Yeah, so call centers, like I have worked in call centers during the early years of my life. And I know that it's like very boring, it's mechanical, but it's really interesting that you are making your call center a very fun place. I took a look at the picture that you sent, and it's so much fun. It's interesting, like it's so much fun. It's colors, it's jukebox, it's like play, right? It does not look like as we see the call centers as like cubicles or headsets and all that stuff. So what's going on there?
You're so right. Remember, back in the day, we had certain teachers where their classroom was a little brighter and their stories were more colorful. And encouraged participation and especially play. And every company I've worked for, it's been sterile, gray, uncomfortable seats and bad magazines. It was a terrible, and the coffee's horrible. And so it's almost like they're doing you a favor. And I didn't
Yeah.
want that. Working at my friend's center, I wasn't the owner. So I got to be with the people in multiple departments, and you get to hear things in the
Mhm.
lunchroom, in the cubicles, by the water cooler. You hear the good and you hear the bad. So I said, okay, let's take some notes here. If I ever get a chance to do it on my own, I'll double up on the good and eliminate the bad. And I got I'm still a kid. So I collected pinball machines and arcade machines and air hockey tables. And I wanted a happy medium for people to play, let off steam, meet people.
Yeah.
And when they have to walk upstairs and make their phone calls, at least they're walking by a Pac-Man machine, with some in a separate mood. And I've had people fall in love in the game room because they had a chance to know each other in a very innocent and non-threatening way compared to a bar hookup or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just made us kind of cool, just to have that sort of place to enjoy.
It is very cool. Like jukebox, I would say that it's like life hitting you from all areas, right? And then it's more of the like sorry pinball machines. It's like life hitting you from all sides, and jukebox is like just playing around. It's so much fun.
That would put you in such a good mood. Because you're
Yeah.
looking at a beautiful machine from the 60s or 70s where the craftsmanship and the glass and the style. I mean, think about all the people that danced in front of it on a Saturday night. It's been around forever. And then you mix that with the pinball. My favorite game. They were so right when they talked about the pinball wizard being one with the machine, feeling it. You could close your eyes and still just understand where it moves. But how about this from a professional perspective? You worked at a call center, and I can't believe you did. Hats off to you. And nobody does this sort of things unless you have to. And so, um, imagine going downstairs after that one customer starts screaming at you when it wasn't your fault. Do you know what it is?
It was like that.
You don't want a cigarette. Go on the game. See the
Mm.
lights. Play. Enjoy it. It really does put you in a better frame of mind. But let me ask you a question. What did you do for the call center? What was your job?
My job was just to answer phones and just listen to the people who were screaming at me all the time.
Hmm. What industry were you in? What vertical was it?
Okay, so I don't actually remember it, but I guess it was something called America Online.
Oh, okay. For like
AOL.
internet
That was the
service? Yeah, there
process.
you go.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, the frustration. They don't even say your name right. Did they ever curse at you?
Oh, of course. It like a lot of things keep going on there. Like I just would not like to get there, but then it was like very stupid, sad stories of my career. But then I'm really grateful for all that I learned there because it's a like I believe that life teaches you at every stage and step. So it's always good to go through all those experiences in order to be or do what you are being or doing right away.
It does. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
makes you a very proficient speaker. You speak English beautifully. I can imagine.
Oh, really? It's not my first language. You know that.
But do you want to know something about your accent?
Mm-hmm.
I consider it a verbal beauty mark. So just that for me, my accent sounds exotic to your culture. And so each one of us has our special sauce, which makes us
Yes, yes.
nice. But call
Exactly.
center for you. I realized something else. You could see it as a transitional job where someone like me, I could see if I can adjust the industry just a little bit. You'll still be
Yeah.
employed, still making and receiving calls, but is there any chance we can loosen it up a bit and give it some wiggle? So at least it's not so rigid and it's not so rehearsed or just reading off and keep saying I'm sorry. What do you say?
Yeah, yeah.
So
For no reason, right? You just need to keep saying thank you and sorry. And I don't really like to say all those things now.
What I've learned is if you do extreme active listening, which you and I have to do on the phone,
Of
it
course.
reduces temperatures and people eventually, instead of the steam coming out of their ears, can start relating to you. And
Yeah.
but what confidence building, what a way to build your self-reliance and being stoic and being able to take it, deflect and give back. And so you have to admit we became much better speakers by
Yeah.
being in the
Yeah.
call center.
Absolutely. And we build up that resilience. We learn a lot of skills that we need in life later. So it's very interesting. And I love the job that you're doing at your call center, by the way.
Thank you.
Richard, you have trained over 10,000 people to use their voices. When did you finally claim yours?
I think the first time I got a positive reinforcement from someone where I learned how to properly introduce myself to an adult. Like,
Okay.
hello, Hina, my name is Richard. Nice to meet you. People thought that was cute and would pat me on the head and go, "You're so nice." So I'm like, wait a second, really? They're like, "Get more ice cream or something." And so I realized that empathy, by just acknowledging existence, putting on a smile, giving them 30 seconds of me and you, let's just see where it goes. And
Yeah.
I think I realized that by properly representing yourself, let's say in the best light,
Hmm.
is a
Yeah.
really good first impression. So
Yeah.
I didn't say it was perfect then, but I did find the seed. And so that's something I needed to nourish and to master throughout a lifetime. And I'm still not done. But no, at an early age, I understood rhetoric and a smile, being kind. And, it seemed to have assisted me this entire time.
Yeah, yeah. And learn to use your own expression, and be very free with that. Express yourself.
Sincerely, yes, but it makes you vulnerable, you know that.
Mm.
You
Mm.
might need to decide how much you share with somebody or how much you agree with them or how loud you want to laugh. But for me, I think there's maybe 20 easy topics, like the pinball and the jukeboxes. I can throw out there with anybody. If they
Mm.
love it, great. If they hate it, no big deal. And,
Mm.
it's just a matter of you and I sometimes talking about deeper subjects because of the confidence we have and the respect we
Yeah.
have. And that's important. But I tell you what, some of the best experiences I've had have been with strangers, someone whose name I never got and never will see him again. But there's a moment I've had both of extreme laughter and joy, and I've had maybe another time where I just broke down. I need to speak to someone. And it's amazing this certain spectrum of humanity
Yeah.
that we see and what people are willing to do for somebody. And so my friend, I just try to pay it forward in just a nice way, like passing the,
Mm.
the flame of a candle to another.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do is just pass warmth and light.
Right. Right. So was shine like the sun always inside you, or did it arrive later in life?
That's a great question. Imagine sun behind clouds. So it was always suppressed by negative Nancy's or guilt and pressure. And almost like what school teaches you, even having to wear uniforms in a school, they wanted symmetrical. They wanted things to all be the same. And sometimes environments discouraged uniqueness. They either call that hyper, distracted, crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, sometimes we're just poets. We see things a little differently. Doesn't mean I'm going to break the rules, but sometimes you need to lean to the side or loosen your tie. It just happens to be. But I was under an enormous amount of pressure to follow in family footsteps. And so my deciding to be a Spanish major was not only way against what was expected, it was from left field. They didn't realize that someone was going to bank their future in just a second language compared to economics or finance law.
Yeah.
but I was scared to death. I didn't have the grades. I didn't have the structure or maturity to study that stuff. I was still young. I had no idea, but I knew that Spanish to me was something I did outside the classroom. So if I saw that dedication, I realized I might even have a chance.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because I have learned French and I have stayed in France too, and like I speak French. And like I have a sincere love for languages. So it's
Mm.
interesting to see what you are saying. It's again this like when you get the voice, like language is just like a voice, which is not your cultural voice. It's something else, and you become somebody else when you use that, and then you actually get conditioned to that, and you start getting attuned to your own voice. I don't know if that makes sense.
100%. And the beauty of French and Spanish are that they're romantic languages. They have the subjunctive tense through desire and doubt. And so, oh man, you feel so cultured. You feel great. You could really express yourself. And when you read the descriptions of the paintings, or when someone speaks with you or shares an idea with you, I guess it's almost to me double. I don't know why. I always feel like I'm stacking up the experience in one way or another. But I tell you what, by speaking that second language, you got to pay more attention. You just can't
Yes.
zone out. And so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're more living in the moment,
Yeah.
and it's more enriching. And so I always enjoyed that sort of high that I used to get when speaking Spanish.
Yeah, yeah. And when you learn a language, it is just not that you are learning the language only, you learn the culture. You get to see the world from a very different set of eyes.
Definitely, if people are talking good or bad about you, of course. But
Mm.
no, but I know what you mean. It's you really feel more included than an outsider, even though you're a guest in another country. And so I got you. It's almost like a cool pass, You share the
Mm.
card, you get in. And so,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but you know what's cool? I was really one of the only one out of my friends that could do this. To me, it was like juggling and biting an apple. They didn't get it. I did. I realized that it was going to open so many doors in one way or another.
Yeah, yeah. Richard, what's your biggest fear?
Hmm. My biggest fear is not being fulfilled. If I really look forward to something and can't wait for it and I get disappointed, oh man, that makes me so sad. And so I'm just more fearful of the experience. Oh, death, I'm not worried about that. Money, I'm okay because the greatest experience that happened in life are free. Unfortunately, I've done well for myself where I'm cool. But it's just about the experience. I still want to have best friends.
Okay.
And I still want someone to put love into the meal that they're making.
Mm.
Or at least just in any way open doors for people and show that. So I look for little things. I just want fulfillment of niceness if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it in so many different ways. So yeah, that's my main thing, the expectation of it.
Mm. Okay. And what has been the most emotional moment in your life journey when it was like a turning point, or maybe you felt something that you'd never felt before for some reason, for some achievement of yours, for any bad or tough moment in your life, if you could recall of any of that sort of any of such thing.
Of course, there's just so many. May I give you a few? And then I can tell you
Mhm.
which one was the greatest.
Sure.
Once again, at 18, deciding what to study. At 27, getting past family guilt and moving abroad.
Mhm.
And then when I was 35, starting the company with that first account. How about a couple years later when the company almost went out of business? Lost my largest account. And then look what happened during COVID, where things were so frantic. And now the current stage in life. Um, the toughest part was losing the largest client because I literally almost went out of business. Thank God I never went down to 0 agents, but everything I saved went back into paying rent, certain employees. And you had to ask yourself, do you have enough faith in yourself? You can't spin this. It's not mommy or daddy or Hina saying everything's going to be great.
Yeah.
You, you're going to have to pay the piper one way or another. You may win or lose. And so I said, you know what? I want to be able to live with myself at least. And where you're from and where I'm from, there's pride. We don't give up easy. We go the whole, as a boxer, you go all the rounds. And you're not going to, if it's that important, we're willing to die for it. And I knew that I needed to show myself the most strength internally. And I'm thankful that I did, because I did weather those storms. And, you know, when COVID hit, I saw people I depended on run, and people I just were hired step up to the plate. And that was another moment where people's families and their securities and the government and the world, they didn't know where anything was going. And you're not even really their boss anymore. They'll just split.
Yeah.
And so I got to see my character during the highest levels of chaos. And the number one thing that I did was a leader was to put myself in somebody else's shoes before anything business, and to extend some empathy and just follow up and ask how things are going. And I liked that. I like that foundation. And that's what came naturally to me. No one had to remind me to do that. And now my stage in life now, I guess it's just kind of like what Steve McQueen said to Faye Dunaway in, you know, in the movie. He said he just wanted to know who we wanted to be in the Thomas Crown Affair. And that's a very elating, liberating, but scary thought as well. If you have the time and you have the ability to do things in life, what do you choose? Because you've always thought about it. Now it's time. Your Saturday has arrived.
Yeah, I love
So I just don't want to waste this time. I've been waiting my whole life to go outside and play. And so I got to make sure I organize this moving forward too. And I hope that has answered your question in one way or another.
Yeah, yeah. Like every life is a blend of so many different moments, and I've seen that a lot of things keep happening in phases, but then there are certain key points, like some turning points where you make a decision and everything changes after that, or you feel a certain way and everything just changes after that. You meet somebody and then everything changes after that. So there's a lot of different moments that we just try to be aware of, like what they were and how can we use them and how they played an anchor in our lives.
Checkpoints, right? You look left and right. Are we on the right path? And it's about your ballot. And so, yeah, there's nothing wrong with checkpoints. Or if you're swimming underwater, we do a thumbs up. You still breathing? You all right?
Yeah.
And that's why I know you and I like to check in with our friends every now and again, just to make sure your clock is still ticking.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And that I'm thinking about you. Those are nice things to do. But now that we're older and we look behind at those stages of life, it almost seems like it was pre-planned, but it really wasn't. I guess subconsciously it was. Like, you always got to be proud of yourself, and don't be hard on yourself. You were just younger then. You didn't see things the way you do now. But if you made some really big decisions, as you say, that can change your life.
Scary decisions. Yeah.
You got to be so proud that you were bold enough to take that chance.
Yeah.
Right? And
yeah,
so,
absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge, this or that. Choose fast, trust your instincts, and let's go.
So now I would like to play a game with you. It's called This and That, and I love this or that. It's I'm going to ask you, like, I just give you two options and you just need to pick one. That's very simple game to play. I hope that's okay with you. Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay. Religion or spirituality?
Spirituality.
Morning or night?
Morning.
Script or improvisation?
Oh, I'm an improv cat.
Voice or silence?
Silence.
Rock anthem or quiet reflection?
Oh no, rock anthem, of course.
Stage or studio?
I like the stage.
Costa Rica or anywhere else in the world?
Hmm. Anywhere else in the world.
Oh, really? And why is that?
I've done 25 already here.
Okay.
I'll always have a home here. I think it's time for me to click my heels and check out some other places. And so
Yeah.
I'd like to, once again, give a treasure to my eyes and to see something I've never seen before.
Yeah. So do you have any place in mind?
What's so interesting is I ran away from the snow and the cold to come here. And now I'm more fixed on winter wonderland. So I'd like to have
Okay.
snowy mountains and chimneys and, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Training others or expressing yourself?
Expressing myself.
Headset or microphone?
Microphone.
Order or creative chaos?
Order.
Shine quietly or shine like the sun?
Shine like the sun.
That's brilliant. I love that. It's interesting. You played very well.
Okay, good. Are there right or wrong answers to this? Did I pass the test?
No. Of course not. Every right and wrong answer is just our heart knows the answer, right? And this is just the way to know oneself. Like when I'm asking you the questions, it's just basically so the audience can learn more about you based on the answers that you give.
May I do a disclaimer, please?
Sure.
I didn't mean to, not think that Costa Rica is not the greatest place to be. I've spent the majority of my life here, but
Yeah.
as you say, there's a walkabout, there's this vision quest and this spiritual journey. And as I say, there's places I've read, seen, or heard about that I definitely want to go visit firsthand. And to have that sort of experience, especially now as an adult, I totally look at it differently than trying to go clubbing all night in my 20s. It's different than those days. So, yeah.
Yeah. Richard, if your life were a movie, what would the title be?
I guess I would put in Shine Like the Sun, just like the
Yes.
song. So it makes sense.
Yeah. What do you love most about your life?
Being true to myself. Sometimes it's backlashed, but it was true to me. And it gave me direction and endurance and inner peace, because I know what makes me truly happy, as long as it's not offensive or holds anybody else back besides guilt. I think live and let live. And if there are certain people that have certain desires or ideas of where they need to be, as long as that bike is balanced and they're doing okay, I what a beautiful life. And so it was not easy, but in those quiet moments, I would look in the mirror and I'd say to myself, you keep going, boy. Don't you stop.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and I hope that your audience, in their own time and their own pace, find that inner strength and balance to dip a toe in the water, to test things, to test themselves, and just to see how high and far they can go. And that's the greatest gift, is to see somebody else shining. And so it's not
Yes.
shine like the sun, Richard. It's you. So I can watch you shining and we can shine together. I'm just like, that I took a chance and the stars were aligned and the gods loved me. And something very nice happened in my life. And so I guess my final thought, my friend, is that it makes you very humble of how far you've come. And so it keeps me extremely grounded to where I am today. And today I'm on your podcast, so it's awesome. I had a great time.
I'm having a great time too.
Yeah, so those are some of my thoughts that I have in regards to that long journey that you may
Yeah,
be taking.
yeah, yeah. As we're talking about this, I would like to add that it's so important in life to take some scary decisions, to make some scary choices, because otherwise the life will never change. Otherwise, life will change only, to some extent. But then, if you just would like to see it very different, like we are recording it in December 2025. So by the time it's going to be, uh, you know, to the people, like it would be released, it would be, I guess, January. And January is the best way, I mean, the best time to to see that where you're going. This, like, what do you want to achieve, really? And then you like just sit with yourself and think about it, like where you want to go and what scary choices you need to make for that.
But why scary though? Are you scared of having fame and success and fortune?
Scary means that it's always scary to come out of your comfort zone for most people. It's always It's always scary. I remember that when I left my corporate job in 2015, I was working as a French translator and interpreter in a French multinational company in India. And then it was a very difficult decision for me that, okay, from this year onwards, I just want to leave everything behind and pursue what I want to do, pursue my own dreams and goals. That was scary because you need to pay bills, you need to do a lot of stuff, and you don't know. It's an unknown path. Like you just, you head to to an uncertain path. So of course it's scary, but then it's so worth it if you just put in the right amount of time, energy, and focus into it.
Hmm. And you were building on momentum. You wanted to do something different. So you had a purpose. And
Yes.
maybe you did some due diligence or you looked into something before you moved somewhere. Like people that travel and go to youth hostels, they look up the next one in the next town, at least as a start.
Mm. Yeah.
And you probably downsized to move light and to keep your expenses light, which most people do.
Mm.
And then you learn the local restaurant, or not restaurants, like supermarkets and farmers markets, and you learn how to cook,
Mm.
and you go back to the basics, and but you're probably the happiest of your whole life because you're free. But
You're free. Yeah, exactly. Freedom is everything. Like for me, the freedom is the key word.
freedom to do. And aren't you glad that you took that decision?
Yes, of course. Like, I think that I'm so proud of that I made that choice in that at that time, and that the journey was not very easy. But now when I look back, it's so worth it.
Those experiences. It's not like Hollywood. I don't know what people
Yeah.
think. Really, you have to go on a serious journey through these things, and you're constantly
Yes.
testing yourself.
Yeah.
But the most important thing as well is I love to hit the gym. I have a very nice diet. I like my protein and creatine.
Mhm.
You have to take care of yourself. You need to be on a good sleep cycle. You need to rest when you need to. You need to eat.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like your mother, but I'm just saying that, yeah, you're going to burn yourself out if you don't take a time out every now and again. And so I didn't want to feel guilty or that I was holding back from my job. I'm no good if I'm sick. So there were certain times I put everything away just to
Yeah.
recharge.
Yeah. Yeah. And every life is a movie, and you are the star of yours. So I want to say that make it a blockbuster movie.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good one. You got arcade games, you got adventure, you got
Yeah.
getting away from parents' guilt, not doing it in
Yes.
school. That's all fun stuff. I don't know.
It's all fun stuff.
If you're into childish 80s B movies, I'm your guy.
Richard, what message would you like to leave the world with?
Is to make others happy. Because if it's just a happy circle, it'll come back to you. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Not think of others first, but if you're feeling good, if you're having a good day, you're whistling and your hair looks great, and you walk in and go, what's going on? Just make other people happy. Let them know they make the best cookies in town, or how beautiful that storefront that you did that really looks nice, or just compliment the things that they're proud in, pay attention to the small details. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
just pay it forward by making people happy. And if you do,
Yeah.
then your days will be much brighter.
Yeah. What goes around comes around.
Sometimes, sometimes it's just a straight line. Sometimes they'll take all your food and give you neck and back, and you're like, all right, what the? But no. Guess what? Strangers or friends you haven't met yet. So there's a lot of times you recognize the same face, or somebody like, "Who are you, young man? You're so nice." You make someone's day, and that's a nice way to live your life. If you
Hmm.
are outside and about, just as I say, open doors for people. You don't have to introduce yourself to everybody, but if you're standing next to someone, just say good morning or just acknowledge their existence. That's just more than enough.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about any of your project that you are pursuing right now and you want us to support you in that?
Well, I do appreciate that. Just don't hang up on a telemarketer so fast. They might be here. You do. Think about it. Um, I did another interesting project here that your audience can look up. I created a rap breakdancing video at the call center. G Black the Best was George Brown. He was doing the rapping, and Jake Rodriguez, he was the break dancer, and they're unbelievable. And
Okay.
I love creating and working with local talent. So we just did a fun thing there. And the industry is interesting. Everything got moved into the cloud. Most people are working from home. So when I first started this thing, it was really brick and mortar, and you walk in the rows, and the server room was the make or break your company. And now it's just kind of all virtual. And what was one of my greatest strengths was the synergy, because the game room's empty now. No one's even in
Yeah.
the office. And so
Mhm.
you see the past of the party of when people were making best friends and high-fiving, and you had friends at the call center. We all did. You miss
Yeah.
those people. It's different. I know there's convenience of working from home, and I understand the time and transportation and money, but there's nothing better than you and I sitting next to each other all day having the best,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
and so I miss that. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but that was the one part of the industry, my friend, that I felt I had control over. The rest is just technical or expected, but the one fun side was what we create together. And so it's not as easy as it once was, and I'm trying to adapt accordingly. But I'm just letting you know that there's nothing better than a painting. It crushes a print. And if you can see the live theater compared to a movie, I know you got the bells and the whistles, but if you're seeing somebody playing a violin in the local plaza, or you go to live theater, or you're at a
Mm.
museum and you see the brushstrokes, that's
Yeah, yeah.
still humans, and AI will never be able to replace that. There's that
Exactly.
electromagnetic transfer that humans do, and I just wanted to do that through speech and through
Mhm.
environment. And I'm just hoping that people, when they're by themselves, are still, as I say, when they leave their house and they interact with others, as you said earlier, my friend, using the skills that we learned at the call center to make our lives more effective and better and
Yeah.
clearer. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping that I accomplished.
That's interesting. And where can we find that? Where can we find that the next project? Like, do you have a link for that, or would you like to guide the audience to get there and
Oh, just go to
watch it?
YouTube and put in Costa
Okay.
Rica's call center commercial, and you'll check.
Okay.
And but if you Google my name or arcade, Richard Blank Arcade, you'll see some of the games I've collected. And anytime any of you or your audience is in town, please come by. Free play, of course. Just come
Okay.
enjoy yourself. Come check out the games.
Sure. Thank you. Richard, if people want to follow the rest of your movie, where should they go to find you?
Well, they should come to Costa Rica and personally meet me and really get to see
Yeah.
the movie. I'll show them everything firsthand. But you could send me an email at ceo@costaricascallcenter.com just to keep in touch and let me know of your audience's adventures in movies. But I'm not done yet. As I say, I'm looking to do projects outside of the call center industry. So you'll see some things coming up in the near future.
Thank you. It was fun talking to you, and thank you very much for coming to the show.
I had the best time today. Thank you.
This is The Corporate Life. More stories, more insight, more truth. Until the next episode, stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe.